The importance of spirituality at home. Imagine the perfect home, a space where the spirit rests in peace, the mind is renewed, and the body relaxes. In our spiritual journey, we understand that this place must be a refuge of tranquility and purity. However, Padre Pio always reminded us that the invisible may be present in details we often overlook. Even those who keep the faith, pray, and seek goodness in their lives might face restlessness, feel an inexplicable discomfort at home, or even sense a strange atmosphere, as if something unseen is draining the home's peace. This is the nature of spiritual warfare. It is often subtle but powerful. Padre Pio, one of the great spiritual masters of his time, deeply understood this invisible battle. He said that as long as we are in this world, we must remain vigilant, as often what causes us unease might surround us in ways we cannot imagine. This introduction brings us to the core of Padre Pio's message. He warns us about specific objects that may seem harmless, but could carry intentions or energies that influence our home. Without meaning to, we may be surrounded by items carrying stories of pain, sadness, or despair. These objects, when accumulated, become a burden that gradually affects our spiritual well-being. Think about this for a moment. When was the last time you truly looked around and asked yourself, am I surrounded by things that unknowingly attract energies that don't benefit me? This is not about superstition, but the spiritual reality that Padre Pio so wisely shared with us. Remember, my brothers and sisters, only objects carrying negative energies, energies of sadness, unknown origins, death, or suffering, should be discarded if you so wish. Objects that bring joy, happy memories, and good moments should remain in your home, maintaining harmony and peace. Object 1. Memories and Gifts, a profound spiritual look. Padre Pio said that the origin of the objects we keep at home can directly impact our inner peace. Imagine the memories you hold on to. Small objects that bring back memories of trips, moments, or even loved ones. What many of us fail to realize is that these objects carry the energy of the places they came from and the people who touched them. Energies are not visible to the eyes, but are felt in the heart. Imagine a souvenir from a trip. For example, an item bought from a vendor at a market in a faraway city. That person might have gone through a difficult life, marked by pain and struggles which, without us realizing it, might have left an energetic imprint on the item. Padre Pio said that when something is created or exchanged, its energies intertwine, passing a bit of its history onto the object. A personal experience that Padre Pio shared emphasized the importance of keeping objects that strengthen our faith, such as a blessed crucifix or a sacred image, which emit energies that uplift the spirit. He believed that these items bring spiritual protection, forming an invisible shield around the home. In contrast, he warned that gifts or keepsakes without this spiritual origin might sometimes open doors to disturbing energies. Object 2. Symbols and decoration, more than just aesthetics. The decor of our home is often an expression of who we are, what we like, and what we find beautiful. But have you ever stopped to reflect on what each piece in your home represents spiritually? Padre Pio, with his profound understanding of the spiritual world, often said that certain symbols can act as gateways for forces that disrupt the home's balance. Think of a symbol you came across and found interesting. Perhaps a decorative piece you saw in a store or an item that seemed aesthetically pleasing. What many of us don't consider is that these symbols often carry deep meanings. In other cultures or religions, for example, certain items may symbolize suffering. In some traditions, items might symbolize suffering, struggle, or even be dedicated to spiritual entities unfamiliar to us. For Padre Pio, ignorance was no excuse. He believed we should always seek knowledge and awareness about what we keep in our homes. He advised never to keep a symbol without understanding its origin, as it might attract unknown forces into the household. For him, the solution to maintaining a spiritually healthy home began with ensuring that everything within it reflected our faith and commitment to God. Object 3. Works of art, the spiritual influence on creativity. Padre Pio often said that art is a form of expression carrying the soul of the artist, their emotions, and even their inner struggles. When we appreciate a piece of art, we are touched by something beyond the visible, a manifestation of the energy and spirit of its creator. However, he also warned that not all art carries a beneficial influence. Depending on the artist's intentions, the piece may hold an energy that negatively impacts the space where it is placed. Imagine a painting in your home, one that has always caused a sense of discomfort. You might never have connected that feeling to the artwork itself. But as Padre Pio explained, the artist's energy and intention imbued in the piece have the power to influence the environment. He believed that artworks created from troubling emotions like sadness or despair could transmit these energies to the home and its inhabitants. One interesting story he often shared was about a crucifix that, despite being a work of art, carried a positive and protective spiritual force. He said that this type of art, crafted with devotion and spiritual intention, has the power to elevate the soul and protect the environment. Therefore, when selecting art for the home, Padre Pio advised choosing pieces that bring peace, reflecting God's light and love. Object 4. Books, written portals of invisible energies. To Padre Pio, books were not just printed words. They carried the soul, energy, and even the intention of the author. He said that when we read, we open our spirit to the content, allowing it to enter our home and heart. Books, as he taught, can be a source of wisdom, but also a channel for energies that are not immediately perceptible. Imagine a book on your shelf, perhaps one you keep for nostalgia or because it is a family heirloom, but opening it stirs a feeling of discomfort. It is not uncommon for certain texts, especially those written in troubled emotional states, to carry a kind of invisible weight, leaving readers with a sense of unease. Padre Pio encouraged us to be selective with the books we choose to keep and read, as words carry energies that can permeate the environment. He believed texts that uplift the soul, like sacred scriptures, have the power to sanctify the home, shielding it from negative influences. Conversely, writings born of anger, fear, or despair may carry those energies and release them around us. This idea is not meant to incite fear, but to encourage mindfulness. By carefully selecting the books we keep and read, we cultivate an atmosphere of peace in our homes, strengthening our connection with the divine. Object 5. Gifts and heirlooms, carrying stories and energies of the past. Gift giving is a common practice, a way to express love and appreciation. However, Padre Pio reminded us that not all gifts carry good intentions or positive energies. He believed that every object bears a part of the story of the person who previously owned it. When we accept something from someone, we are, in a way, welcoming part of their life into our home. Imagine receiving a gift from someone going through a difficult time. While the intention may have been good, Padre Pio warned that the object might carry the weight of that person's pain and suffering, subtly affecting the energy of our home. He said that just as we protect ourselves from negative influences by carefully choosing the people we surround ourselves with, we should also be cautious about what we bring into our lives and homes. And what about inherited objects that carry the weight of generations? Padre Pio taught that such items could bear the emotions and events experienced by those who previously owned them, whether positive or negative. Imagine a family heirloom, such as an antique ring that you treasure, yet sometimes feels like it brings a heavy aura. Perhaps that object witnessed moments of sadness, loss, or hardship. Padre Pio advised that we do not need to part with heirlooms but should, if possible, have them blessed, transforming them into channels of light and peace. This, he explained, helps us preserve family traditions while also purifying the spaces in which we live. Object 6. Antiques, the invisible weight of the past. Antiques have long fascinated people. Furniture, decorative items, and even old garments bring a sense of elegance and history. However, Padre Pio often said that antiques, because of their long history, also accumulate the energies of everything they have witnessed. He believed that when bringing antiques into our homes, we should do so with care and discernment. Imagine an antique chair you discovered in a store or inherited from a relative. It has likely witnessed decades of stories, perhaps from multiple families. Padre Pio cautioned that such a chair, like any antique, might carry the energies of the people who used it, especially if there was suffering or conflict involved. He explained that by keeping such objects, we may inadvertently bring fragments of stories that are not ours and that we may not wish to have in our lives. For this reason, he suggested that antiques, especially those that evoke a sense of heaviness, be blessed. According to him, this practice helps to release lingering energies, allowing the object to be admired and appreciated without disturbing the harmony of the home. He emphasized that just as we are responsible for the spiritual atmosphere of our homes, we should also be mindful of what we bring into them, especially objects with a long and varied history. Object 7. Belongings of the deceased, care with the past. When someone passes away, it is common for their belongings to be passed on to family or friends, either as keepsakes or to preserve their memory. Padre Pio, however, advised his followers to reflect carefully before keeping such items in their homes. For him, items belonging to the deceased carry emotional and spiritual weight. He emphasized the importance of distinguishing between objects that evoke fond memories and those that might bring feelings of sadness or grief. Imagine, for example, an item from someone who suffered greatly in life, whether physically or emotionally. Padre Pio believed that keeping such items without proper purification or blessing could subtly affect the home, bringing feelings of sorrow or melancholy. He advised that such objects be taken to a priest or trusted individual for a special blessing. This, he explained, helps to release the emotional weight the item may carry, transforming it into a lighter and more positive remembrance. He asserted that by doing this, we honor the memory of the deceased while preserving the peace of our homes, creating a place of serenity and comfort. Object 8. Mirrors, portals of spiritual reflection. Mirrors are fascinating objects, often surrounded by mystery. Historically, they have been regarded with an aura of mysticism, seen as portals to other dimensions or as reflections not only of physical appearance but also of the soul. Padre Pio, deeply attuned to spiritual energies, said that mirrors, when used intentionally, could become instruments of self-reflection while simultaneously serving as openings to invisible influences. He explained that in certain situations, mirrors might absorb and even amplify the energies of their surroundings, whether positive or negative. Imagine a mirror that has been in a tense environment for many years, perhaps a room where arguments took place or where someone silently suffered. He believed that mirrors could retain a kind of spiritual impression of the events they witnessed. For this reason, Padre Pio suggested that mirrors, particularly old or inherited ones, be spiritually cleansed or blessed. He taught that this was not superstition but a way to protect the spiritual atmosphere of our homes, especially if there was something about the mirror that caused inexplicable unease. He also recommended avoiding an excess of mirrors in the home, particularly in places meant for peace and introspection, such as bedrooms. Object 9. Objects from foreign cultures, openings to unknown influences. With the rise of travel and globalization, it has become common to bring objects from various cultures into our homes as decorations. Padre Pio, however, warned that many such items might carry cultural or spiritual energies we do not fully understand. For him, objects used in religious practices or rituals of other traditions deserved special attention. He used to say that when introducing a culturally significant object from another tradition into our home, we should investigate its meaning and history. Imagine, for example, a symbol you brought back from a trip that seemed to be just a decorative piece, but was actually used in spiritual or protective rituals. Padre Pio taught that by placing such objects in our homes without understanding their context, we might unintentionally invite energies or forces we do not comprehend. This advice was not meant to instill fear or prejudice, but rather to encourage respect and awareness. He believed that every object should be understood in its context. And if something spiritually disturbs us, it is always a good idea to remove it or bless it, praying for protection so that only positive energies remain. Object 10. Crystals and stones. Careful use of nature's elements. Crystals and stones are widely used for their natural properties. In some traditions, they are even considered instruments of spiritual healing. However, Padre Pio said that, like anything else in nature, they should be used with caution and respect, as they carry accumulated energies over time. For Padre Pio, crystals were not merely inert objects. He believed that certain types of stones could amplify specific energies, and that if not properly cleansed and consecrated, they might end up absorbing or even projecting negative influences in the environment. He recommended that if someone wanted to keep crystals at home, they should ensure that these were blessed and used with a clear intention of peace and protection. An example he gave was that many people place crystals in their bedrooms to seek harmony and balance. However, if these crystals are purchased from a place with a lot of traffic, they might carry the energies of different individuals. Therefore, he advised washing and blessing these objects, asking the Lord to sanctify the space and keep it in harmony. Object 11. Photographs and portraits, carrying memories and energies. Photographs are windows into the past, capturing moments and memories of loved ones or happy times. Padre Pio, however, taught that photos not only capture an image, but also hold fragments of the emotions and energies of that moment. He believed that by keeping old photographs at home, we are also keeping alive the feelings of that time. Imagine an old photo of a person who went through difficult moments in life. While the love and remembrance may be genuine, Padre Pio said that if the photo evokes sadness, it might be better to keep it in a respectful place rather than a common living space like the living room. He recommended placing such photos in areas where we could pray for these individuals, asking for peace and blessings for them. Padre Pio also suggested that when creating photo albums, people should select joyful and peaceful moments, as such images help elevate the spiritual atmosphere of the home. He believed that just as in our memories, we should hold on to those that bring us joy and draw us closer to God's love. And so, we conclude this moment of reflection and learning about the importance of purifying our homes of objects that might be draining our spiritual peace. If you followed along with each of the points discussed here, I deeply thank you for your presence and for dedicating your time to this message. I hope these teachings bring more harmony and serenity to your home. Always remember Padre Pio's wise words. He taught us that small acts of faith can transform our environment and draw us closer to divine love and protection. If this video touched your heart, I kindly ask you to share it with friends and family who may also benefit from these guidelines. Let us spread peace and light together to those we love and help bless more homes. And if you have not yet subscribed to the channel, take this moment to do so and activate the bell to receive more content on faith, spirituality, and wisdom. May God bless and protect you and your family, and may He continue to illuminate your path. Thank you so much for being here, and until the next video, may you stay in God's care.